Got another 2 rounds left to go in that men's shot put final. Can the Croatian hold on to the lead? We saw Sandra Perkovic qualify top at the women's discus. It could be shaping up for a good couple of nights for the Croatian heavy throwers. And almost the other end of the spectrum of athletics, super powerful, explosive, fast-moving shot putters on the infield. And now we move our way to the slow twitch masters. 25 laps of the track for these women. 18 starters. And they could be putting on a great show. Still a few people here in the crowd. It is getting late on in the day. Public holiday here in Munich. Public transport's not readily available, so there might be a few people trying to figure out their way home.
So what are we doing? Are we hitchhiking back?
We're walking. It's a small hour 30 walk home, Phil. We'll be fine, absolutely. But after we've been inspired by these women powering at around 25 laps,
absolutely,
I'm sure we'll cope. And Lena Ray, quite rightly, being picked out by the local camera team here. Picked up that great bronze medal in Berlin. Focus on Eilish McColgan as well. She's had a fantastic year, breaking national records and European records on the road. And going slight disappointment in Eugene. She had a few disruptions just before that championship. I saw her and she couldn't believe the bad luck. How could she be in the shape of her life and have the World Championships derailed? And what did she do? Went to the Commonwealth Games, picked up a brilliant gold and silver medal there. Yasmin Lau and Jonkman, 2 Dutch teammates, giving us a game wave. Sam Harrison, Jessica Judd will be the 2nd and 3rd runners for Great Britain. Jess took a massive lump off her personal best to go 4th in the all-time list, coming 11th place in Eugene. Backed it up with a position in the 5K final and then came down with COVID in between. Bravely battled to 5th place in the 10,000 metres at the Commonwealth Games. Skipped the 5K in Birmingham to focus on this. Constanze Klosterhausen, she's got a bronze world medal over 5,000 metres and she's had a warm reception from the crowd. She had COVID before the World Championships. That really put paid to any kind of return to form for the young German athlete. Let's hope she's back to her very best. Lena Ray picked up her bronze medal in Dublin as well over the cross country to go with her bronze medal from Berlin on the track. Could she pick up another home bronze? Lorna Salpeter, question marks over how recovered the Israeli athlete will be from her World Championship bronze medal in Eugene just 28 days ago. She is the reigning champion. Nikidis will do of France will complete the lineup in lane 1. Great to see healthy field there of 18 starters. It's a straight final for the women's 5,000 as well, so I was going to say, it looked like it might have been a false start. Very sure it will be a faulty start.
Now, this raises a question. Is somebody going to get shown a yellow card here?
Let's see Salpeter there just readjusting her footing, and perhaps the starter just not pleased that they'd quite given everyone a chance to settle before they fired their gun. That's the rule in the sprints, isn't it? You call everyone to the set position, wait until they're settled and then fire the gun. So they're perhaps not sure that everybody was quite ready. And these things can come down to the hundredths of a second. We've seen many a distance race come down to much finer margins than you'd expect when they've got 25 laps to play with. And they are away okay this time. I can't really see this race going slow. Not with the likes of Eilish McColgan and Sam Harrison. Even Jessica Judd, she doesn't like a sedate pace. Constanze Klosterhausen slotting into 3rd place there as well. But Sam Harrison is no stranger to leading major races. She led the night of the 10,000s in London. That's a big 10,000 metre festival we have in the UK. But something Sam perhaps doesn't always do particularly well. I mean, her coach, Vince Wilson, discussed this with her at length after the British Championships. She doesn't always lead fast enough. She led the British Championships 5,000 and just sort of left herself there to be shot at, much like we saw Jake Hayward do in his heat in the men's 1500. If you're going to lead, you've got to do something with it. You can't just be a pacemaker and allow everyone else to sit on you and relax.
Men's shot put final going on. Let's bring you up to speed. So, Sinan Cevic in the bronze medal position, 21-24 so far in the third round. Mihaljevic went out to 21-53. Look at that, look at the suspense. Let's wait and see. Valid attempt, the green marker. Just a little out to the left, but I feel like this is going to close down the lead. That's exactly what it does. So up into second place, Staniek is demoted again, but just maybe he can respond.
Just moving through 600 metres. Sam Harrison of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, very content to have the lead at the moment. Eilish McColgan spoke at length after the Olympic Championships last year that she's in a group and she's trying to chop that long loping stride. It takes a lot more energy than leading. She's not leading at the moment, but by sitting on the shoulder on the edge of lane one, Scotland and Great Britain and Northern Ireland's Eilish McColgan can have a bit of a cleaner run. She can stretch her legs out. Harrison and McColgan at the moment sitting very comfortably in 1-2. This is 2 laps. We'll start to watch these laps unfold and get an idea of the pace that they're moving at. Pretty sedate through that first 800 metres, around about 75, 76 second pace. I can't see Eilish McColgan hanging around much longer. She did this at the Commonwealth Games. But we've got plenty of time to catch up with them, but this men's shot put is really coming to a head.
21-26 so far for Staniek. So that lead has been cut down to 14 centimetres. And that's not going to be an improvement for Staniek. So Mihaljevic, Sinan Cevic, and then this Czech in that order as things stand. And those are the 3 athletes who are all over 21 metres. And Nick Poncio is on 20.98. There he is. As the 10,000 metre women go past. Hanatak then in 5th place. Bukowiecki, Fabry and Kolasinac, those still in. So Mihaljevic, be great if he can now react and extend that lead again, but won't with that effort. But still, he has had 5 valid attempts thus far, and poorest of 20.37, 4 of them over 21 metres. This one coming up as 21 metres and 4 centimetres.
So these women went through the first kilometre in 3 minutes and 13 seconds. Sam Harrison leading them through, and as expected, Eilish McColgan just went, nope, that is not fast enough. It was an emphatic 10,000 metre victory in Birmingham in the Commonwealth Games 10,000 metres, and this is looking like it could shape up to be a similar effort from the tall British athlete at the front at the moment. She does tend to go out there and start running at 72 second pace and kind of go, who can stay with me? She did that in Hengelo from the very get-go. Had the wave-like technology at the Fanny Bankers Cohen meet for company and left the whole of the Ethiopian World Championship team in her wake. But Eilish McColgan leading this field out. And you can see the way they've spread out in single file. This is good. They can run the shortest line, but they're also having to do this because Eilish McColgan is asking questions to these women very early on.
Well, very interesting that McColgan's gone out there. As we all know, she likes the front run. I'm still curious as to how much is left in her legs after her exploits at the Commonwealth Games, which were 2 very fast finals indeed, and 2 outstanding runs. She won the 10,000 metres, took a slim silver medal, shall we say, not by a very big margin, and a very fast 5,000 metres, but behind a Kenyan rival, Beatrice Chepkoech. Has she recovered in time? It looks like an awful lot of these very, very good women behind her are just going to be happy to sit on the pace.
Fabbri in the shot put for Italy in this last round then. So his compatriot is in 4th place. Fabbri 20.43 so far. Just a little off balance there as the shot falls just shy of 21 metres. Pushes the tape up into the air a bit. So eagerly awaiting to see what this is. 20.72, his best this year. Doesn't actually move him up any positions though. So on to Bukowiecki. He's the man who remains in front of Fabbri by 2 centimetres, 20.74 from the 5th round. He needs 11 centimetres to improve, at least 1 position. Hanatic just in front of him. So he's looking a little disappointed with that, but of course he'd be aiming higher than just 5th place. So Bukowiecki, let's see what his measurement is. Just the 2 valid attempts prior to this one. 20.47. Hanatic. So the second of the 2 Polish athletes, 20.85 so far. 20.98 is the 4th position of Nick Ponzio, and then 21.26 needed for at least a medal for the defending champion who was 2nd in 2016. What about 2022? Right on 21 metres. So if this is a valid attempt, potential to go up as high as 4th, but not into the medals. .20.90, so he remains in 5th place.
Nick Ponzio of Italy is the last man that can change these medal positions. He's good enough on paper. He's got a great personal best. He knows 21 metres, so if he could match that, he could get himself up among the medals for Italy. 21.83 at his best, so he's throwing well below that, giving it everything in that final round. And unfortunately, in these technical events, more effort, more energy doesn't mean it's going to go any further. The timing is so important. So we have our medalists in the men's shot put, and it will be 4th place for Nick Ponzio.
Yeah, a bit of a shame not to see his compatriot Zane Weir, because I mentioned the great battle they had at the European Team Championships in Leiria earlier this year, but Fabbri is involved, another young Italian putter. Decent 7th place for him. He brought his best so far in 2022. So we know those medals, who they'll go to, but let's find out in what order. And that order's changed a few times. So final 3 throws now. High time to tell you how things stand. Mihaljevic, 21.53. Sinan Cevic, 21.39. Stanek, 21.26. Here he is. So the Czech does not improve. So bronze medal for him. Sinan Cevic led after the first round. And then he managed to extend the lead to 21-24. And Mihaljevic has really come on strong in the second half of this competition. So last two throws. So, looking to command his way through this circle. One last go. And that is a decent amount over 20 metres. It's almost lodged itself in the ground, that shot. So let's wait and see. 21-39 thus far. It's 21-32, so no improvement. He'll be the silver medalist. It's gold for Mihaljevic and Croatia. Mihaljevic a moment ago just looked a little bit more relaxed when he saw that people weren't improving hugely. Took a sip of water and composed himself. And now it's over to him to see if he can get any further improvement. 21.84 in duels this year. 21.94 is his national record. Here is the Croatian. Another who's a bit off balance. Massive, massive efforts. So what's this going to be? You know, it's the second medal of these championships for Croatia. 21.88. That's his best this year, and 6 centimetres off that national record. Mihaljevic, the European shot put champion. So it means a huge amount to him and those who supported him from the sidelines. He wants to watch. He doesn't go into lane 1 there because they've got the 10,000-metre final.
I have the feeling if there was a collision, they'd be bouncing off him rather than the other way round.
I'm forever in awe of field eventers full stop, but particularly when they're dealing with that busy traffic out there. They're always so aware of what's going on. A brilliant gold medal for Croatia. Filip Mihajlovic wearing that flag with pride. Second medal for Croatia today. Matija Karlov-Kostro picking up a brilliant silver in the women's marathon. There will be parties in the Croatian camp today. Hopefully quiet ones, because they've got 2 women in that discus throw final tomorrow, so they've got to get their sleep. Maybe they're just pull an all-night and not go back to the hotel. I think that's probably what you do when you're in your final championship of the season. Handshakes and congratulations all round.
So Croatia, Serbia and Czech Republic, Mihaljevic, Sinan Cevic and Stanek on the podium. So first field finals of these championships. Those 2 shot put finals now concluded. Delight for the Croatian contingent here, who have front row seats. And credit to the crowd who've stayed here into the night to catch a glimpse of the action that's remaining.
Good gamemanship from the whole field. They will travel the circuit over and over again. They'll know each other incredibly well. Meet up again, I'm sure. A few Continental Tour golds to go, a few more Diamond Leagues. But for today, Mihajlovic is the champion, and he can have those bragging rights.
So having another look at what I think will be the longest throw of the competition, 21.88, Mihaljevic. Yes, he was just about able to keep that balance inside that circle.
Such a technically tricky event, that the shot put, you've got to be so balanced, so fast. We saw with Nick Ponzio trying to muscle out a massive throw in his final round. It just doesn't work. You've got to be totally balanced. And these men will practice it over and over again in training. But to do 2 rounds in 1 day is a tough ask. They would have carried that fatigue from this morning. But Mihaljevic coming out on top in the end. That wingspan as well, that's just what you want for a thrower.
So confirmation of what we've just seen. Mihaljevic, 21.88, taking the shot put title. Sinan Cevic is still there, and then Stanek, that bronze medal.
Have got the women's 10,000 going on the infield, and Eilish McColgan has been piling the pressure on. This is almost identical to the splits that she ran when she won the Commonwealth Games title just, I don't know, 10 days ago in Birmingham in the UK. They had a pretty sedate first kilometre at 3:13, and then she's gone 3:02, 3:01, 3:03, 3 minutes and 4 through 5K. It was 15:22 through the halfway point, and that is why she has whittled this whole field down to just 4. Yasmin Chan, the victor back in 2016, she took the 5,000 metres at that championships as well. 4 consecutive European cross-country titles for Turkey. So brilliant 8th place at the Tokyo Olympics. Yasmin Chan is a fierce competitor. Klosterhalfen in front of a home crowd is doing tremendously well to stick in 3rd place here. She's had a disrupted year with illness. But Constanze Klosterhalfen at the moment flying the German flag in 3rd place. Her compatriot Elena Ray, the defending bronze medalist, is a little bit further back, but we saw that in Berlin 4 years ago, and she came powering through the field. The victor 4 years ago in Berlin was Lorna Salpeter, the woman in the blue strip of Israel, 4.62 on her back, sitting in 4th place. We said at the start of the programme, was Salpeter going to be recovered from the World Championship Marathon, where she picked up a brilliant bronze medal? What a comeback from Salpeter versus the massive fatigue she hit in the Tokyo Olympics. She was in a bronze medal position then and faded horribly in the final 6 kilometres. And she did away with those demons on the roads of Oregon just 29 days ago, and she's powering through this 10,000 metres. Teferi saw her husband pick up a silver in the men's marathon earlier on. Jessica Judd hanging in there on 6th place. Now Sam Harrison finished like an absolute train at the Commonwealth Games. Elena Ray has done that before on track races, so that's an interesting pairing for me there, sitting in 7th and 8th together, the British athlete and the German athlete. They could start to close up that gap. You can see they're around about 160 metres behind Eilish McColgan and that lead group at the moment.
Well, you were talking about the kilometre splits. They went through the halfway point in 15:22.15. So that puts the winner on course for something inside 31 minutes. They're not going to challenge Paula Radcliffe's championship record, which came from the last time this stadium staged the European Championships. That was 3:01.05 back in 2002. But McColgan is absolutely tearing the guts out of this field. She's got Yasmin Chan, Constance Klosterhalfen and Lorna Salpeter sitting on her though. And out of the 3 of them, Chan looks the most relaxed without a doubt. Klosterhalfen and Salpeter, well, they're both looking as though they're straining at this stage. But Chan, well, I saw her win the European 10,000 metres Cup in France back at the end of May, and she ran a very, very comfortable 31:20 to win there as almost a time trial, and she certainly can run much, much faster. Yes, the World Championships didn't go the way that she wanted, but I think she's really focused on this, and she's really this year come back to the sort of form that she had back in 2019 and 2018, even after her European Championship win 6 years ago. But at the moment, it's McColgan still leading, acting as the pacemaker for the rest. Now, what's going to be left in the tank? They're having to work their way around the back markers now. This is going to make things just a little bit tricky. McColgan, we know that she can do this. We know that she can tick off the laps. She went through that 6th kilometre, and they're just coming up now very shortly to the 7th kilometre in 18:26.01. So she's very, very adept at ticking off 302s, 303s, 304s. And this is really a magnificent bit of front running from McColgan. But we've still got almost 3 kilometres to go. Can she sustain this pace? Can she burn off, in particular, Yazmin Chan, who, as I say, is looking comfortable in second. Klosterhalfen, well, we're familiar with her head-rocking style, the upright, slightly staccato style of Lorna Salpeter back in fourth. It's going to be a titanic effort for McColgan. We've also talked, we were talking at the Commonwealth Games, those of us that were there, about the way that she followed in her footsteps. Well, while we were watching the men's shot put, I looked back. Liz McColgan, her mother, for all her honours, for all her trophies, never ever won a medal at the European Championships. And now Chan hits the front. Have the wheels come off McColgan. She's digging in as they're going through once again more back markers. Chan is heading for home.
Just under 3 kilometres to go, and that's a massive injection of pace from Yazmin Chan. As you said, Phil, she's won this title before, and if she used these tactics to win that European Cup 10,000 metres, she'll be used to it. Talk about disappointing World Championships. Chan, Klosterhalfen, McColgan, all disappointed with their performances in Eugene. But Klosterhalfen and Chan have had a quiet month to get themselves ready for this event. Eilish McColgan was very busy on the track in Birmingham. She will not be as recovered as these two are. Lorna Salpeter she is the athlete at the moment trying to close this gap back to Yazmin Chan, but that's a huge lead to open up 20 metres over this field in 300 metres when they were already running 303 kilometres. Has Yazmin Chan got this right? It looks very good right now, but she's got 2.5 kilometres to go, 6 laps on the lap counter when she goes past. Klosterhalfen tried to cover the move, and she's just starting to grimace. Regardless, this is the best run we've seen from Constanze Klosterhalfen in a few years, and that's brilliant to see. She won't be finished yet. She will get everything out of herself in these closing 6 laps. But can Salpeter and McColgan work together to reel back in Turkey's Yazmin Chan, or has she gone? What a great tactical decision there, just to fly around that group of 4. And she's opening up that gap. It's up to 32 metres now over Lorna Salpeter and Eilish McColgan. They have got to go now, because Yazmin Chan is a high calibre athlete.
I have to say, this is starting to look as though it's a battle for silver and bronze. Yazmin Chan now lapping even good quality local runners comprising the German team. I think now that almost the entire field, I think there's only 7 women that she hasn't lapped at this stage, just looking at the computer information screen, and she's just carrying on, pouring it on. When she went with 7 laps to go, well, I think when she comes through at the back straight, we're going to have seen a terrific kilometre, probably, well, you can see it there, 2:55 kilometres she's just injected.
And that's, but they were already moving at close to 3-minute kilometres, which is 30-minute pace. I know the first kilometre was to date with a 3:13, but they haven't hung around since then. And Yazmin Chan chucking in a 2:55 8th kilometre. Oh, you look at the screen and you go, Yazmin Chan looks absolutely fine, but that's a ferocious change of pace at this point in 10,000 metres. You can see what it's done to Lorna Salpeter and Eilish McColgan. But Yazmin Chan has got a lonely but inspired 4.5 laps of the track left to go. She took this title in 2016. Lorna Salpeter took it in 2018. Could it be back with Turkey here at the 2022 edition of the European Championships?
And just looking down the track, I have to say, Constance Klosterhalfen looks broken now. It looks as though it's a battle between Salpeter and McColgan for the silver and the bronze. However this turns out, it was a fantastically brave effort by McColgan. She's just digging in now. That staccato style, as I described it, of Salpeter is just pit-pattering away around the track. But McColgan now, she's on her shoulder. And I have to say, Salpeter also looks a rather tired athlete at this stage. 4 laps to go.
Lorna Salpeter, the marathon specialist, she is so proficient on the track as well, but tired legs from that performance picking up the bronze medal in Oregon. She won't want to lead this to a sprint finish. She knows Eilish McColgan's got a turn of speed. So I expect Lorna Salpeter of Israel to do everything she can to pile on the pressure. But Yasmin Chan is just stretching this lead with every 100 meters that goes by. Eilish McColgan won't stop battling. Lorna Salpeter has been to the depths of pain in her marathon races. She knows what it's like to be full of fatigue, but keep powering on. But there's at the moment nothing they can do to try and get back on terms with Turkey's Yasmin Chan. She laps Jessica Judd, yet another good athlete down there on the track, getting lapped by the winner, and that just shows the pace that these women are moving at. This time, Yasmin Chan is going to see 3 laps to go. Eilish McColgan and Lorna Salpeter are making no inroads on that lead. If anything, it's still growing.
Yes, Chan just looking supremely confident. Israeli fans buoyed by the silver medal down in the city centre, out in force as well. There's the battle for silver and bronze between McColgan, the taller Briton, and on her inside, Salpeter. Salpeter looks as though she's weaving away. She's not running a straight line there. McColgan had to sort of end up almost in the second lane, or else she'd have been touching shoulders and barging. But there's no disputing. You can see Yasmin Chan glancing up to the screen. She knows that she has a yawning gulf of advantage ahead of these 2 women who are battling for silver and bronze at the moment. And well, Yasmin Chan, she's lapped everybody apart from the 2 women in your sight. Klosterhalfen, who's in 4th at the moment, and another Israeli, Tafare, in 5th at the moment. I've never seen at this level at a championship, possibly with the exception of maybe Ayana in the Olympics, such a dominant display over the rest of the field.
So Yasmin Chan is just coming up to 2 laps to go. Her last kilometre was only a 3:05, so she went 2:55, blew the field apart, and now she's settled back down to 3:05, and that's a brilliant tactic, because Eilish McColgan and Lorna Salpeter, they couldn't even do the 2:55. It's not like they kind of went, oh, that's maybe a bit of a rogue, bit of a risky move for me right now. They could not match the change of pace that Yasmin Chan unleashed with 7 laps to go. And at the moment, they're just battling it out for that silver and bronze, and that's going to get tricky with these lap runners. Yasmin Chan, none of those issues behind many of these athletes. Out of respect, moving wide, running in lane 2, but that can be confusing. And the etiquette, I think you need to set an etiquette, basically, unless you're very sure. You should just stick in the inside of lane 1 and not get involved. Eilish McColgan just starting to lift her pace. They have 600 metres to go. Will it be a medal for Great Britain? Well, we hope it would be, but it will be silver or bronze for Eilish McColgan and Lorna Salpeter, because surely it's going to be a gold for Turkey and Yasmin Chan.
Yes, as they come up to the bell, Chan with almost 70 metres advantage. And now Salpeter trying to push hard. Let's see what McColgan's got left in the tank. But Salpeter, gold 4 years ago, still very much in contention for a place on the podium. As Yasmin Chan, well, I'm sure she'll embark on a true lap of honour after she's got the gold, but this is a really valedictory last lap for the Turk as the battle commences behind her for the next 2 places on the podium.
It's a brave run here from Lorna Salpeter. She's got a marathon in her legs from a month ago, the Israeli athlete. Her male teammates were imperious on the roads of Munich this morning with their team gold. Lorna Salpeter and Eilish McColgan battling it out for the silver and bronze medalists in this women's 10,000 metres at the European Championships. Eilish McColgan just inching ahead. She's got to hit 200 metres to go. She's moving significantly faster than Lorna Salpeter. I think that will tidy up the silver and the bronze medals, but they're going to have to look down the track and see Turkey's Yasmin Can striding away. She's got 80 metres to go, 70 metres to go. She's going to lap another phenomenal athlete. Samantha Harrison was sixth at the Commonwealth Games last week, and Yasmin Can is going to power through the line, just a whisker outside of 30 and a half minutes, a 3:03 final kilometre. Great running from Yasmin Can. Eilish McColgan of Scotland punches the air, securing another major championship medal. And Lorna Salpeter, where did that run come from? This woman picked up a bronze at the World Championships just 29 days ago, and she's managed to hold on for a brilliant bronze here in the 10,000 metres at the Europeans. Constanze Klosterhalfen, tired figure, brave run, and fourth place for the German athlete. And that's a tremendous step in the right direction for Constanze Klosterhalfen, and great to see.
Well, the athletes are just flat out with that incredible effort, especially over the last 2 kilometres, 3 kilometres once Can went to the front. McColgan's on her feet. Well, it was silver for McColgan over 5,000 metres 4 years ago, when on that occasion she beat Yasmin Can, the Turk ending up with the bronze medal. Roles a reverse this time around 4 years later over 10,000 metres, and Yasmin Can regains the title she won in Amsterdam back in 2016. She's the only one that I think that hasn't actually fallen flat on the track. There's still running left in Yasmin Can, I think.
There is, and it was a great 8th place at the Olympics for Yasmin Can when we went into those European cross-country championships thinking in Dublin at the end of 2021, thinking, blimey, could she make it 5 titles in a row? She couldn't quite hold it together, just came 14th. You know, everyone's got to have their break. Yasmin Can back to her very, very best, picking up another gold medal on the continental stage for Turkey.
Well, Yasmin Can spends an awful lot of her time back in Kenya, where she was born and raised, and she trains there just like an awful lot of other European runners. But we don't really know too much about her background and what she's been doing. But I did find out that she had actually been quite ill. What the nature of that illness was, I think it was some kind of bad stomach bug prior to Dublin. That certainly conditioned her result there, because she did, as you probably remember, you were there, and brilliant commentary on it, with her trying to take the lead in the early stage of the race. I think it's taken her quite a long time to come back, but there's been a really good build-up, solid build-up during the course of the year. Great outing, solo run, beating a lot of good athletes, a few of them in the field today at the European 10,000 metres Cup, and it's just carried on and carried on. I finally think that Eilish McColgan's very, very heavy racing workload has finally caught up with her just a little bit. If she'd have perhaps only taken one event at the Commonwealth, would she have something to respond to Yasmin Can? We don't know. McColgan, wonderfully courageous athlete, races very, very often as well, is really adding on a very regular basis to her own medal collection, whether it's at Commonwealth or a European basis. And she had those tremendous times on the road earlier in the season. Perhaps if she'd have taken 1 or 2 weeks out here and there, rested a bit more often. But having said that, I really don't think there'd be many people, not just in Europe, but in the world, who could have stayed with Yasmin Can today. Perhaps Sifan Hassan, if she'd have chosen to run here, but who really knows on the day. It's Yasmin Can's turn in the spotlight once again.
So we saw Yasmin Can do the 5K, 10K double back in 2016 in Amsterdam, and it is this evening a prequel to Yasmin Can doing the same here in Munich in 2022. He's dropping a 2:55. 8th kilometre is pretty dangerous, and I'm not sure anyone's going to want to see what she's got up her sleeve for that 5,000 metres. Carolina Grovdale of Norway didn't line up for this 10,000. I wonder if she is just doing the 5,000. She took that European cross-country title finally after so many years of trying. And I do wonder, could we see Yasmin Chan back in winning ways as we look towards that 5,000 metres later in the programme?
Oh, she did go to the track in the end. Am I right in thinking she's not actually using running spikes, that she's using flats?
I think this season, the ASICS shoe, they have added a spike plate to the bottom. They did have a season where they developed some shoes and they hadn't popped spikes on the bottom. That was causing issues for some of the steeple chasers or some of their athletes when they were in wet conditions. But this year, shoe evolution is everybody just hanging on by the seats of their pants.
And a well-deserved drink for Liz McColgan. I hope she manages to celebrate a little bit later on this evening as well, although it's a rather late finish here in the Munich Olympic Stadium. There's Lorna Salpeter and Yasmin Chan. They know each other very well. Friendly rivals. Raises the thought, when will Yasmin Chan step up and run a marathon? She's had a few good road races, without a doubt. You could see the delight on her face as she crossed the line. Absolutely stunned.
Seven laps to go is a really awkward time to start running that fast. If you were in that race, you'd go, come on, geez, are you kidding, Yasmin? This is far too early to start a big kick for home, but it was a tactical masterpiece from Yasmin Chan.
It just had that feeling with Eilish McColgan having led for so much of the race, and then Yasmin Chan just looking so comfortable that this was all going to Yasmin Chan's game plan one way or the other. If McColgan had kept it going, even at a slightly higher tempo, you have a feeling 6 laps to go, 5 laps to go, Yasmin Chan would have still been ready to fly to the front and go for home.
So that 5,000 metres scheduled for Thursday night. We haven't got anywhere near a sort of finalised start list for that. There'll be declared entries and whatnot. And Yasmin Lau just probably feeling a bit hard done by. She had a rough race, good on her. Thumbs up from the 2 Dutch athletes. And I don't think they would have liked to have their faces up on the screen, just a little bit disappointed with their results there, I think.
So Yasmin Chan confirmed 30:32.57 to take the gold, followed home by Eilish McColgan of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, and Lorna Salpeter of Israel to take silver and bronze respectively. There's the full classification of the 14 finishers. That was a very high quality race. All those 14 women well inside 33 minutes. Yasmin Chan, well, we said we didn't think she could approach Paula Radcliffe's championship record. She was about 30 seconds adrift, but at one point, just when she dropped in that 2:55 pace, it looked as though maybe, just maybe, if she could sustain that pace, she could give it a scare. In the end, she just had to ease back